Hello everyone and welcome to this session of programming with Java. In this session we will continue our discussion of the methods in Java programming language, and in this session we will see what do we mean by methods overloading in Java programming. So method overloading is a process in which we define the same method with different definition by changing the type or number of parameter we give it into its input. So for example, let's say we define a method called calc. So we will write static int calc, and this method takes two parameters like two integers int a and int b, and when we give it two different parameters, it basically returns the sum of these two, or basically product of a and b. So we will write return a into b. Now let's say we define the same method calc again, but now this time we will change the number of parameter and the definition of the function. So again we will write that static int calc, that is the same method, but we will give it three different parameters like int a, int b and int c. And what will it do? It will just return the sum of a plus b plus c. And let's say we define the same method for a third time. So we will say that static int calc, and now this time it takes four integers. So we will say that int a, int b, int c and int t, and it basically sums up a, b, c and d and multiplies the result with 3. Now as you can clearly see that all of these functions are basically the same, that is calc function, and their return type is also same, but their number of parameters are different. So when we will call our method from the main method, then whatever will be the type of parameter we will give or we will use to call our method, then according to the type or number of parameter the function will be called. So for example, when calling our calc function, if the number of parameter is 2, then it will basically return the product of the two integers, and if the number of integers or the parameter or argument is 3, then it will basically return the sum of a, b and c. And if the number of argument we will give it during the calling of our function is 4, then it will first take the sum of these four integers and then it will multiply the result by 3 and will give back an output. So for example, if I run it and we have to print our result on screen, so we will use the println function, and within the println method we will just call our calc method, and first we will just give it two integers, let's say 2 and 3, and if I run it, then we will get 6 as an output, because when we give two arguments to our calc function, then the definition of the function that will be executed will be this definition, in which the parameters are 2, and when the two parameters are given to our method, then it return basically the product of those two parameters or those two arguments. So 2 multiplies by 3 is 6. Now let's say if I change the arguments or number of parameters to 3, so we give it another argument 4. Now when we have changed the number of parameters to 3, then this function definition will be executed, because here we have defined 3 parameters in the definition, and now it will basically return the sum of 2, 3 and 4, and 2, 3 and 4 evaluates to a value of 9, because 2 plus 3 5 and 5 plus 4 9. Now similarly, if we change the number of arguments to 4, that is we give it another argument, and if we run it again, then we will get 42 in our output, because first it will take the sum, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9 and 9 plus 5 is 14, and 14 times 3 is 42, and we are getting 42 as an output because we are giving it 4 different parameters, and when there are 4 parameters given, then this definition of the same function will be executed. So the same calc function has 3 different definition according to the parameter, and it is executing. So this is known as method overloading. Now this concludes our methods in Java programming language. From the next session we will see what do we mean by object oriented programming in Java. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.